Most winters I go into a sort of hibernation when it comes to photography. Oftentimes the weather sucks or there's just no color in everything and I just don't feel like getting out. Well, this winter I made a conscious decision to get outside more. And I got quite a few good shots, dare I say portfolio level shots. About that light. Today I'm going to go through 5 of my favorites, and I'm going to tell the story behind the photo and what it took to get it. Let's do it. My first shot started out with a mad dash out of the house after work one day. I've always wanted to get a shot above the clouds with either the sun setting or rising, and with one of the first inversions of the winter, I thought I'd give it a shot. So I hiked up over 2,000 feet, and this is not a new thing. I've tried to get this shot dozens of times. I've hiked up tens of thousands of feet of elevation gain in order to not get this shot. So this time, I thought it was going to be the same story. I hiked up, busted my butt, but right as I got to the top, I actually got out of the clouds. And it was right as the sun was setting. The scene when I got to the top just took my breath away. No words. I love how the trees are covered in frost and Pikes Peak is lurking in the distance with the sun setting behind it. On top of it being my first time getting a shot like this, all the trees were covered in this amazing rime ice, and the clouds moving around below me just really got me excited for the rest of winter. This was a heck of a way to start off the season. The second shot on my list involved a really early morning getting up for sunrise and hiking up a mountain just to get a good view of Pikes Peak. You see, there was this huge winter storm moving through just on the high peaks. It wasn't snowing on the front range, but Pikes Peak was getting hammered. And my hope was that I could get up there and get some really cool cotton candy colored clouds right as the sun rose, with some moody snow showers. I didn't know exactly what I was going to find, but I knew it was going to be epic. Sure enough, right at sunrise, the sun out east found a window in the clouds, and just for about 2 minutes shone this amazing pink light on Pikes Peak, and it just took my breath away. It was blowing like crazy, it was super windy, but for those 2 minutes I was just focused on the peak and getting that shot, and man was I happy with this shot. So this third photo is similar to my first photo, and it's another shot that I've wanted for years above the clouds, but this one was sunrise. So this one I hiked about 2,500 feet before the sun came up, and I was actually late. I didn't actually make it to where I wanted to get. So I was hiking to where I wanted to get. It was after a fresh snow. I'd gotten above the clouds. I knew I was going to get the shot. And then the sun rose like 5 minutes before I wanted it to. I wasn't paying attention. I got distracted because it was so beautiful. I was just taking photos right and left. But I ended up just finding some rocks nearby, and I got the shot that I was really looking for. But just that vibrant pink sunrise with fresh snow and just clouds off in the distance. It was amazing morning. Got a bunch of time lapses from this trip too, and you can check that episode out here. Alright, so my fourth shot, I hiked up Blodgett Peak when it was like minus 10 degrees or something ridiculous like that, and the atmosphere just had this amazing misty haze, crystally snow look to it, and I was above the clouds again. It's just beautiful up here. It's so cool. These clouds down below me. And it was just stunning. So I took advantage of a longer lens, an 85 millimeter lens here, to kind of give more compression, kind of looking out on the mountains. So this is one of my favorite photos just because the memory of like what I went through, and I was just floored by how warm it was at the top. I was sitting there in minus 10, minus 20, who knows how cold it was at the top, but I was just sitting there in the sun, there was no wind, and just watching these clouds move by, watching these just amazing views appear and disappear in the clouds. It was just a really cool moment. My last shot was just taken at Garden of the Gods, and this one was really nice because I didn't have to get up early, I didn't have to hike a 2,000 foot mountain. I could just drive in there, hike 10 minutes to this spot, and just take in this amazing sunrise with the fresh snow in the Garden of the Gods. This hike was just really cool. I've been wanting a photo like this for quite some time, and this photo just speaks to me like the peace that I experienced in that mountain. That morning was so quiet. There was nobody on the trails, and I just spent a couple hours just walking around. I met some deer friends, and it was just a blast. It was a moment of quiet that I really needed in my life at that time. So those are my 5 favorite photos from this winter. I learned a lot this winter about trying to find your ideal gear setup so that you can stay warm but not too hot. And I'm really proud of how many times I got out this winter. I'm really proud of these shots. I'm really proud of all the scenes that I was able to witness, and even the shots that weren't keeper shots or they're not going on my wall. There was still a lot of just great moments of just being outside and just enjoying the calm of the winter. It's quieter and still really beautiful. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next week.